Now, here's what happened last time on the Weeb After Hour.
How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Fire him.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
No, get back! No, get back here! Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it?
No, you don't want me here.
Not with my dummy thick ass.
Tell me you want me to stay. You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty.
Ka-chink. Open sesame.
What is going on, my Weeb and Weebettes? So welcome back to another episode of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I'm Peter, and with me are my co-hosts for the show, starting with Lance.
Hey, guys.
And Plinchy.
Hi.
So we are on the second half of this trial, or the second half of this day's trial. We finished up with Officer Meekins and his testimony at the evidence room, and apparently the quote-unquote murder that happened there. And now we are putting Jake Marshall to the stand to figure out what he has to say about the incident at that time. So let's get back into it. February 24th, 12:14 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Court will now reconvene for the trial, Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back.
Allow me to call the next witness's stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Yeah, he is.
I'm drunk, Your Honor.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Jesus, partner?
I hate that shit.
Oh, I'm just a man, same as you. Wandering the trials of civilization.
Your Honor,
That's fucking you-hoo.
the prosecution would like to dismiss this witness.
No, please.
Occasionally helping the elderly across intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. Oh, you're a patrolman. That's pretty funny.
Please
As
confiscate
for my
that
name,
flask.
if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Shush, Edgy,
Nice.
I'm listening. Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct?
According to the papers, partner,
What do you mean?
the desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
I'm going to play Red Dead now. Be on my way. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please
I
share
love
with us
Red
your
Dead.
testimony of the day of the crime.
I love that fucking game.
And she starts drinking like crazy.
I always play McCree when I play Overwatch.
Holy
Always.
shit. You crazy.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Oh my god, the graveyard of evidence. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
So I made it 8 times.
Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. You liar! I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
You just got here, you bastard.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I'm a pirate guy myself.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Guilty! Guilty! Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Nah, that shit's busted.
Oh.
Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
You're the worst.
He's not being very helpful. You know, a lot of people are not helpful in this game.
Yeah.
He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Honestly, he should have been fired a long time ago.
Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
Some more than others.
This one seems like trouble. God, this is who runs our fucking police system, huh?
I'm so
all right,
worried.
Mr. Wright. He's all yours. I'm gonna wear a bulletproof vest everywhere I go now.
That's why I got demoted, right? I used to be a detective, now I'm a patrolman.
You should have been demoted even further.
And our bento lady couldn't keep her job. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings.
What about the blue badger moving? You interred them.
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd release the tape.
Oh, great.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
Depressing.
This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room.
Oh, we're gonna catch him.
But I have evidence to say that, though.
Yeah, I catch
They say I was supposed to make 3 rounds that day, but I ain't my style. So how many rounds did you make? So you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. Yeah?
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
So I killed Detective Goodman at the prosecutor's office while I was supposed to make my rounds. No desperados I know joined the police force. So Officer Marshall on the day of the crime.
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
Yeah, just you
What
and
is-
the court record.
Wrong with you? There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
How does this guy
fucking
avoid
lie.
being fired?
Holy crap. You are so
I don't-
fired if this gets out.
Look at me.
I don't
I
give a
can't do
shit.
my job. I was never in there.
Oh wait, here I explained that to security
I'm gonna
system,
collect
right?
the state's money either through this job or through unemployment. You pick.
Oh god. You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence.
So they didn't have the electronic fingerprints back then either?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
God damn it. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism.
Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines.
Ugh.
I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
Damn.
I'm so fucking stupid.
That's quite
Dude!
that's
I'm
incredible.
dumb as a cactus without a needle. The sensors on the locker handles can't be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
What? Now that you
well-
mentioned it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
Well, he's dumb.
God, they're all idiots. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place?
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down.
You're drinking?
The local CVS? What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating spaghetti.
He was at Jollibee's. Nice.
Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Von Gold sepia pasta.
Good job pronouncing
Do you,
that.
Do you mean to tell us you abandon your police duties to eat some noodles?
Not all desperados eat tacos, partner.
You didn't deny it.
Hate him.
That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
No.
That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, Did you not want a raise this year?
Innocent.
Out of ammo, Officer Marshall.
That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence.
Or truth
If you plan
bullets.
to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset.
One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
Holy shit.
Huh? Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up on my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I'd better up the ante.
Up the ante.
Okay, so now we're back around the start
What
here.
are we in at?
So it's the fingerprint that we have of him.
Yeah.
This one, yeah. This is where you would
Side to
present that
present
when
it.
he says he's never been inside. Like,
Yeah.
Alright, you were. What the fuck were you? He said, I haven't been there in
Oh.
weeks. Well, no. Yeah.
Right, but he
What the
didn't
fuck
say
does
that
he
in
say?
his
No.
in that
What
testimony.
else does he
Well, he said
say?
he was at the what is it, the street side saloon when
Yeah,
it went
yeah,
down.
yeah.
But we had the fingerprints.
Yeah, when it
right?
went down. This
Okay,
one.
yeah, this one, yeah.
Hold it!
Oh.
What about these bloody fingerprints?
There
I
we
didn't
go.
even read the SL9 incident files.
Nah.
That's for next. That's for next day's investigation.
Only
Ugh.
cowpokes read.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this?
Nah.
After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
Will do, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month.
What do we pay you for?
You go
It's
once
only
a month in
natural
there.
my fingerprints would be in there.
I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood.
I touched my cactus, right? Is that what you was gonna say?
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away, however. A lumino test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall.
About the blood-stained fingerprints?
Yes.
Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. You murderer!
Just drinks out of the flask.
Drink. Wait a minute. This flask is empty. It's never had anything in it ever.
He's just making the gulping noises on his own.
His own.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
What?
See, I had nothing to do with it. How do you know that?
Well, witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
He's guilty.
Looking like a true Red Dead Redemption.
This guy is hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. That's because you, how do you put it? Pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. Ooh.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's left in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
There's just like 10 empty flasks in there. I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. So he just has a locker for no reason. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without even knowing it. He just like opens it and it just like, you didn't realize he was putting his thumb on the fucking scanner.
In the video, that locker, you know how it has
Had
like a
something
cloth sticking out of it?
Yeah.
It didn't have it before, right? So is that the Goodman disguise?
Oh, just kidding. We're not gonna check. I have to like scan. Oh, okay.
See, there's no cloth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then
Interesting.
after at the very end, where we're like, where did he
The cloth
go?
was there. Yeah.
He
I mean, the
stuffs
cloth was
disguise in there.
the cloth was there when we were leaving too. Like it's still like sticking out when we were
Right,
investigating
because
earlier.
it already happened, but this video shows that it wasn't there before this mystery man.
Right,
Before
yeah,
the mystery man.
So we can for sure know that is Marshall. That's going to be Detective
Yeah, he
Goodman.
fucking put it in there.
You know what I don't get is I still don't understand what makes the police department think that someone died. Like,
Because that's Gant. That's him fucking around for whatever reason that we haven't
he's
found
trying
out
to
yet.
manipulate the case very
Exactly.
plainly. Like he has a heavy hand in the evidence.
That he wants Lana to go to jail
yeah,
for her
they
for
think
this.
someone actually died in the evidence room because we don't see any body.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
they're
that's-
hiding it.
But that's not what we're trying. That's not our problem, right? Our problem is Detective
I
Goodman
know,
dying
this
at
is
the
like such a
prosecutor's
big
office.
problem that's not our problem.
Exactly. So, but to prove that Jake Marshall pretended to be Detective Goodman will probably help us out in the long run, right? So,
It's
guess we press
totally that
this.
cloth. Like, you say you weren't here in weeks, but this video clearly shows that your locker
had something in your
open and
locker.
closed. Yeah,
so then what about the bloody handprint?
wasn't mine. It's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened.
Okay. The blood stain, the fingerprints are clearly unrelated. What makes you say that? Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal.
Uh-huh.
You're going to jail, buddy.
One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder.
Thank you.
Oh, he's right. Though seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what harmonies have to do with this. How do you know they're wearing gloves? How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on the handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints.
That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this.
You know about the tape too? The security tape.
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
Here you go,
it
Plinchy.
is.
Here's the cloth. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Too bad it wasn't me in that video.
What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner?
Yeah.
No.
If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
Not necessarily.
But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera is panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, we have time for your speculations. You can show us your evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present. Please do so now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us his incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
Well, the question is, do you click before or after the cloth is... You do it after. Like, when he's about to leave.
This is fast forward, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Oh, never mind. Got it. I had to play it first. Yeah, you dropped it.
Yeah.
Meekins. Absolutely get his asshole wrecked.
Get absolutely, hands
bodied.
Decimated.
Okay. He crawls under. He leaves.
Yep. Yeah, puts this fucking thing. Yeah, you got him.
Yeah, that's your locker.
Damn.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
You are the fucking murderer,
killer.
you piece shit.
You don't even deserve the full insult.
You are murderer.
Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
I'm surprised you can count. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe.
There's a judge.
Oh, whoops.
No, that's Phoenix.
Say my lines. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Everyone wants to talk at the same time. Is this you rewinding it? You're running it very slowly.
Yeah. Are you just holding the camera, actually, you bastard?
Oh, the white cloth is gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in that evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! It would seem that that's all.
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine.
It's fingerprint. Okay.
Come on, Judge, don't forget. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
Because you are.
This guy is fucking stupid. This guy isn't just playing dumb.
He is.
He really
though.
doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it.
Okay.
Royal flush. Actually, how would I prove that? Oh. Only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Indicate lamp lights up when it's...
I guess you don't need your ID. You just need your ID to get in. This is the last line of defense, your fingerprint. Fingerprint sensor?
Yep.
Yo.
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the forums that don't know about the fingerprint locks. What an idiot.
I just found out about it yesterday.
I found about it yesterday.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
Holy fuck.
Yeah, that jerk.
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
You
I
idiot.
only got one word for you, partner. Oh, that actually is 8 words. Order, order, order! Witness, explain yourself!
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Ole! Oh, sorry, I was watching something else. Please answer the question. What is he now? A bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can. Have a look at these floor plans.
Yeah.
There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall's. If that is so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. I'll let you do all the work.
That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Oh wait, who's that? He's
By the
victim.
locker?
Yeah,
He's
he's,
the
the
victim.
victim. Yeah.
Because they
Awful.
think it's Dr. Goodman, and Dr. Goodman is the one that died.
Oh, I see. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There. But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
I agree. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene.
Objection! Officer Meekins is a fucking dumbass.
You're right. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I
He's
point out,
stupid.
though, that he's fucking stupid?
Yeah.
That Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman.
The corporal allowed
He
that
also
statement.
testified about the he also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Yes. And how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me.
Fair.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Surprised you know that word, but okay. Circumstantial evidence. He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Objection! Overruled! Well, Mr. Wright, send this motherfucker to jail! Do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Please tell me you do!
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
This can't be happening.
Please don't get shown up by this guy.
It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
I know the answer.
Oh, okay.
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed.
Hey, undefeated, 4-0, baby.
I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box.
I don't
Phoenix,
have a box
push him
on
until
me,
you-
though.
How is that basic?
Bluff until you can't bluff anymore, Phoenix.
Okay, that one's better. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
What about the cloth? The white cloth? The white cloth,
Which
people.
means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknowable reason.
Is it covered in blood?
Yeah. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Again.
Was there cloth on the blue badger to like cover himself? Is that what we're trying to say? I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
No. So they're saying, well, Phoenix thinks that there's an angle where he shouldn't have had to open his locker. But he did. Why? Because he stabbed Meekins and look, the handprint's on the blue badger already. Freaking Gumshoe. He stabs Meekins.
Hey, pal.
The blood gets all over his coat, so he has to put it away.
Well, just trying to look at his coat and see if there's like anything on here.
The bottom of the soles of the feet, anyways.
Dude.
Play.
Oh.
This is really gonna get resolved in like one case, like what?
Okay,
Jacket's
glove
clean.
falls.
Okay.
Here comes Meekins.
Meekins about to get his ass pounded.
Mhm.
Totally sliced.
Lunged at him.
Wait,
Grab his
he already has
shoulder.
blood on him.
Now he does. Oh yeah, Meekins' hand is cut.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why, yep, any lunges.
Oops. Then that's it. And then the cloth is in the locker.
Yeah. You gotta point out the blood, that's totally it.
Yeah.
The picture of Lana wearing the coat, the blood is totally different.
Well, I guess we can look at that afterwards. Dun, dun, dun.
Nice.
Right shoulder. Just like the one.
Yeah, but look at how different that blood stain is.
Oh, true, huh?
I think they tried. You don't want to get seen with the blood on it.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know what to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. Couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
He just totally admitted it.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
Yeah, definitely.
2 years ago. If you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
All right. It seems the time has come.
We're gonna learn about the SL9? No,
Marshall's
just what happened that day.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim was really you?
But there's one thing I still don't understand.
All of it.
Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
That's a lot of blood.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
Huh?
Okay.
Oh, we're cross-examining. Okay. You
had to do that thing. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. What do you mean by that? When you say it, you mean
Do you even have to ask, partner?
the SL9 incident. You know what? Can we look at this?
Close.
Incident number SL9. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder, sentence
Right,
death.
so he gets a death sentence falsely,
So he killed all these people. Jeb, Edith,
supposedly.
Neil Marshall. Your brother?
Oh my
Dad?
god.
Grandfather?
Family? Yeah, there you go.
Some family member. So that's
Got
why
motive.
it matters to you.
Witnesses! You want a Skye?
So the Skye sisters saw this. Edgeworth was the prosecutor at that time.
Holy shit, how deep does this shit
Head
go?
investigator Bruce Goodman.
Jake Marshall,
Okay.
Angel Star. Okay, so we knew that because we saw that picture when Angel Star was talking about.
Gant, Skye.
Lana Skye was a witness, and she was
And she's also an executive at the time.
like running this case. Goodman
With
is
Gant.
okay. Just
Yeah.
start Jake
Yeah, so
Marshall.
they were the head honchos, and they sent out Bruce, Goodman, Jake, and Angel to be investigators.
That
Hmm.
I maybe this is just a game, but I'm pretty sure Jake Marshall would have been disqualified as an investigator because his fucking like family member was involved in this case.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
fly IRL, but oh well.
Oh well, I guess. All right. Now that we know that, the SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
You want revenge,
That incident's not over.
but what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time,
But you got demoted.
no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I...
So
Like that
detectives are being
transition.
just like it. Why did you disguise yourselves as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card.
I stole that the morning of the incident.
Like how proud he is of that.
Yeah, pretty good on you, man.
So that really was why the Goodman started filling out the lost item report.
I returned his ID card, and I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office. Why? I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. I gave it back to him by putting it on the floor of the building that he doesn't work in. What the fuck?
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, Barter?
I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. Yeah,
But he
got
could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door.
Huh.
That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
Oh.
Sure. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Yeah,
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
It still has blood on it. I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and... Let's just see which area is going to be caught on the camera. So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
however, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So you were saying is, on that day... I don't really know if there's anything to present. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind?
Yes, actually.
The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually, no, I didn't.
What?
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
Oh, right, because they already found this knife somewhere else, right? Is this what he was going after, right?
I guess so. That's the murder weapon.
Yeah.
But it was in the muffler in the car at the same time that Lana was dealing with the actual Detective Kidman.
The actual dead body. Yeah, the murder happened at 4 or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
4 or 5 o'clock. And then the locker's already open because something fucking else happened. And that's what we're seeing.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Oh, great.
It's not the knife.
Okay.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences.
He already works minimum wage and he barely does that job. What else can he do?
No, he doesn't. Gets paid big bucks. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL line, is it? You know why? I don't know. You tell me why.
Hold it, I don't want to know.
But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember that Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Alright, so I guess we show him
It's that relation, the victim.
Yeah.
Other way.
But like, when do you present it?
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. Oh, I guess I will do it on the last one, right? Cameras, there wasn't any murder. I can't just forget that that's not an incident. You know why?
Is it this
I know why.
Is it because of
That's
this?
why?
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
Officer Marshall.
Sam Regal.
I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
Nope, just whiskey. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name. Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name.
Not really.
2 years ago.
Oh, he was a prosecutor or a detective.
He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
Oh, prosecutor. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
And then he was murdered?
And then you took over.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you? Even though he dresses like a cowboy, he looks like a cowboy, talks like a cowboy.
Your last name?
He got the same last name?
That's his hair.
That is his hair. Ew. Gross.
That's his hair.
Yeah.
So he just got a mop head.
I don't like how it just literally looks like mop threads.
Oh, maybe he has it. It's like turned into dreads because he doesn't take care of it.
Ew.
It's just matted with
Get him
dirt.
out of here.
He was my brother.
Oh,
Oh, man. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's him in the bottom.
Oh, is that him on the bottom? Yeah.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
How evil can you look?
Joe Dark.
Holy Jack the Ripper.
My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. Oh.
Okay.
He was a... Huh?
Assigned? Arranged?
Arraigned.
He was arraigned and incarcerated.
Oh,
The case was
that's the actual
finally
word.
closed. At least according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark.
Arraigned, formally tried in court.
I knew my
Ah.
brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. Okay?
And that's it. That's the reason for your insane actions.
Don too.
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No
Huh.
matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Seems like Edgy Boy knows some extra stuff. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with this resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up.
Wow, Edgeworth, we just made a manga together.
It's beautiful. No murder took place at the police department that day. That means that your defense sucks.
Ugh, back to square one.
The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office. This fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's got to be more than just that. Well, so no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime. That means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime.
Yeah.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. there yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it.
Oh,
Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony is one of Miss Angel Star is completely uncontestable.
no.
If you have a response,
No.
make it a single word or less.
Yeah.
Objection.
No, Phoenix.
Huzzah! I rest my case.
I really like when he does the sha-sha-sha.
All right, guilty. Let's go. Here's on me.
It seems
the
this trial
resolution
has
music is done.
reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. Disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Well, now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. The court finds that the defendant... no one gonna stop me? Okay, thank you.
Hold it! Oh my god!
Emma.
Your Honor, wait!
Emma,
The defense has an objection! A scientific objection!
where did your partner go? Kicked him?
Right?
What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright,
Right?
are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense.
Please, Your
okay.
Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please, hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Wow. That's
Nice
more time
guy.
than you ever given me, Edgeworth, but okay.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Skye sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
Right.
No, but if I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
Nope. No.
Oh. Huh?
Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Yeah. Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
What are we doing? And I'm just an attorney with this hot badge.
3 minutes are up.
No!
But, Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. We can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional, I think. If anyone can save Lana,
what?
it's you.
We're gonna move past that. Me? Oh boy. Time's up! Now then, Mr. Wright. With
Big
regard
time.
to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Yeah, it wasn't from Marshall.
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Or do we?
Yes, Your Honor. If ever I need to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
There wasn't any blood during this footage.
Could there be something I'm missing?
Yeah, it depends on what we have to look at and point out. Is it just this image?
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
Is it already in the video? No.
It wasn't in the video. The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright.
You're damn straight I am. You've been staring pretty intently at these floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans.
The floor plans?
Something is missing.
The floor plans?
What?
What's wrong?
What?
What are you trying to get at?
I'm confused. I'm fucking
Okay.
confused.
I thought you were going somewhere with
I thought
that
you
when you were
actually
screwing up floor
discovered something.
plans.
You just
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just like shouting in confusion.
Flabbergasted.
My bad. Yeah, like what do you mean floor plans? Why are we even looking at this?
Missing. You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Nods.
Yes.
What?
Something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Uh-huh.
All right, you're good luck, buddy.
You're really dragging this on, right?
Show us what you got. With all this evidence here, like literally like 3 pages of evidence,
Yeah.
there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? It's finally time,
The
guys.
blue badger?
It's finally time.
Yeah, it must be.
He's
It's-
the only thing that's not...
He's the only thing in that room that we never
Oh.
talked about.
It's because every time the camera is moving, the blue badger's in front of the locker, isn't it?
We
Oh,
can't
he
see
is
the
actually in
blood.
front of that locker. But you can see the handprint on him. I don't know what that matters though, but
Why?
It's hiding.
can we have we ever tested that handprint on the blue badger to see if there's fingerprints on
We
that?
tried and it
Yeah,
didn't
it
let you because
doesn't
it was like
allow
no
you.
blood. It's not blood.
Oh, that's right.
Supposedly. But, I mean, look at that shit. We're talking about handprints all fucking day. You're telling me that's not blood? What is
Oh.
this?
You're dumb, partner.
What about that piece of plywood?
I don't know.
You're
The
dumb.
blue badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here.
So?
So, watch what happens when we put him in. Here we go. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right, Street Fighter. As so long as the blue badger's dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. Would it though? You can't just move the thing?
What?
Why are you shocked?
Why are you freaking out?
Oh, hey, Emma's back on my side.
Nice.
So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
What? Emma,
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
so that must mean this blood mark was there before. Oh, okay. Yeah, I already did that. Was left there before the blue badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will now not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
What does that mean, Your Honor?
I don't know. This is a dictionary that levels out the table, and I've been using it. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time.
So, Meekins, you brought that thing in and you didn't notice there's a fucking bloody handprint on the locker?
No, sir!
Yeah.
Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been, the vase thing that we found earlier too when pieced back together. That is like the first incident. Or part of the first incident.
Oh.
Because he didn't use that vase to hit Meekins with. He had his knife to cut his blood.
Why
right?
is there a hole in the bottom?
It's a poop chute. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. I love it when we go back and forth like this, right?
Hey, it's just like in bed, baby. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Oh, here we go. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to the officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Fingerprint.
Well then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? This one said he came in twice, right? Oh no, that's Meekins that came in twice.
It's the
No, he came in once.
the 777 motherfucker is the killer.
Yeah.
That's when it happened.
I see. Oops.
Even though Goodman isn't in there, but that's like the only time specific evidence that we have.
So
Yeah.
Edgeworth never noticed the handprint either.
I know, wait, so these people don't know it's a handprint, and also there must be a puddle of blood in there, right? Is that what they're implying?
Yeah,
No,
Meekins.
right? Yeah.
There's a puddle of blood there.
Meekins didn't slide the blue badger in until
Right,
10
yeah,
minutes
what the
after
fuck?
Edgeworth came in, so like the handprint was there.
Yeah, they'd have to be fighting over a puddle
No,
of blood.
they
then.
had. Did they clean it up after?
They must have.
Try to cover
Well,
it
they
up.
had. Yeah. Well, they had to, right? Well, how long did they have? It's like 20 minutes. You think you can kill someone and clean up all the blood in 20 minutes?
I don't
That's
know.
a stretch.
What other thing do we have?
That's about it.
Yeah, they have to
'Cause
kill
the
him
parking
20 minutes,
stuff-
stuff him in Miles's car, and then bring them to the prosecutor's office.
The only other time-based thing that we have was that he died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. So all like that can prove that he
Yeah.
died at this time, right? So when the music didn't stop, I think we fucked it. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would have been 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth. Just what have you done?
Oh my god.
Yeah, what about this other number?
Shut the fuck up.
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
I mean, you were charged with murder before.
Shut up.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol tests that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. Yeah.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
It would have been just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. Are you sure about that?
10 minutes versus 20 minutes? Come on.
The crime must have taken place between Mr. Edgeworth entering the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again.
Yeah, hello.
There's only one other card number remaining.
Well, let's ask the police department for that card number, huh?
7. No, you can't ask for that evidence.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait! That doesn't make any sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. I counted.
Fuck!
Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present.
What's... You're not even good at your job. What?
Explain yourself, son.
Don't you worry, you're going to jail. The ID number 77777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer.
Like the deputy chief officer?
We
don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. What?
But that's ridiculous. Just how...
IDs are meant to hold people accountable, not protect their identities. What? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted, an official charge.
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
Please, I don't want to hear that from a criminal. I take pride on my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
At least I show up to work.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes.
No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there.
Ah, the other Lance.
Your own little executive.
Lana.
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 77777.
It's actually the upside down sevens.
Oh my god.
LLL.
L.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident.
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Oh, had to flip her around there.
Do you need the witness to repeat this question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we...
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
Lana!
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant! Just what are you saying?
Oh, I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor.
He's just like pushing her out of the way. All right, let me
Let me take a
Sharing the
stand. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana!
Even if it involved forging evidence.
Well, it's a good thing that incident's all done and over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you happy? Your brother got justice.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
No. No!
Why are we surprised? The prosecutors have been doing this since like 1906. Chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Well,
Wow.
I guess that's how we bought ourselves some time.
Wow.
Amazing.
To be continued. All right. Well, on that note, next time on the Weeb After Hour, another day of investigation, and we're going to try to figure out what truly happened with the SL9 incident. Till then, we'll see you guys in the next part. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.